go through the share screen. I'll go through portion of screen, turn on the sound, and let's take a look at our Excel. Oops, I apologize. There we go. Excel tutorial. So we did check, this is kind of also going to be a review because it includes some ratio analysis as part of the last chapter, which is what our projects are based on. So we're going to head out and take a look and run with our Excel.
Yeah, roughly about 75 things we've taught them. You know, the goals for today, just for some of these final ones then, of these 75 tips and techniques, we're going to understand how to format numbers a little differently using commas, currency signs, percentages, and decimals. More shortcuts for those. We've done some of those without the shortcuts. We're going to learn how to shade some cells with the fill feature, some more conditional formatting, and then the if function, which is a big one. Important to know that one.
Yeah, so specifically, to change those currency, comma, and percentage formats will be Control-Shift plus one extra little piece. We're adding a hotkey, which is not really a shortcut for, but it is a very valuable skill that we're going to get to. Increasing and decreasing decimals using Alt-H and either 0 or 9. If statements is probably the meat of this lesson here, my favorite part, I would say. And then a little bit more on that formatting, just like Bob said before.
All right, so as we get into this one here, in this lesson 12, this is kind of matching up with a financial accounting course that's talking about ratios. So what we've done is we have pulled the Home Depot financial statements for the past 3 years of financial results, and we have pre-computed a few different ratios, or at least set them up. I'm going to go through the first ratio here, and we're actually going to compute it together, and the rest, I've actually already created the results here. So for the first ratio that we actually need to do the computations, it's an increase in revenue, kind of year-over-year revenue growth. What the numerator here is the change in revenue, the denominator is the base year revenue, and that's for 2020. So I'll do an equals, and then I will go to the change in revenue all over the base year revenue. And then when I go down to 2019, this is the increase in revenue in the year 2019 all over the base year, which was 2018. So I will basically create this formula by copy and pasting over. I highlighted those two and did my Control R.
One of those favorite classics. Remember that lesson?
I remember those days back in the old days. So what do you think, Ben? Is that good? Should we just drive on?
Well, we could drive on, but no, it is not good. Right. So a few things here. I think let's just start with what you have highlighted already. Yeah. If this is an increase in revenue, typically we like to show those as percentages. So maybe now is a great time to talk about that percentage shortcut, right?
Exactly, because I think we've taught them this historically, that we would have just gone to percentage right here, increase the decimal once or twice, right? We could have just got, and depending upon how much you use that, that's certainly fine. I'm going to undo that for a second. What's the shortcut? How can we do this?
All right, so our shortcut to format a number in percentage format, hit the Control key,
yes,
hit the Shift key, and hit the percent key.
All right, the 5 basically. All right, so now Control Shift and the number 5, the percent key, and now we have our percents in there.
Yeah, I like more decimals though.
I know this is a little bit round, right? So, and especially if you go down, another, basically ratio even, you can see that there's not a lot of difference unless you break out the decimals. So we should do that. All right. So should I just go to the decimals right here, increase decimals?
That would work. And honestly, I do that a couple times. So it's just faster. I don't use this one a ton. But if you wanted a shorter way to do it, you would hit Alt H and 0 to increase that decimal.
All right, Alt H 0. I do that twice. What if I did it and decide that I'm mad and I didn't want to do that and I actually didn't want to do decimals, or just I want to decrease the decimals?
Control Z.
Control Z.
Wait a second. That's not what we're trying to teach this time. That's not
Control Z. Control Z. All right.
I know where you're going with this though. So what you would do if you did it too much to decrease the decimal is Alt H and 9. So instead of 0 to increase, it's going to be 9.
Yep. Alt H 9 is the what will decrease it. So I did that twice. All right. Now I will Control Z it twice to get back to where I wanted to be.
Perfect.
These Alt key and Control keys are powerful.
I mean, there's more we want to clean up, right?
If you don't do a lot, just use the menus.
I would add the commas in there at some point in time.
Let's do that some point in time right now.
Sweet. Okay. All right. Well, you remember the old way, right? Just go up, navigate up, and hit the comma button, right?
Yep.
But if you want to enter it in the cool kid way, it is going to be Control Shift and 1. Just go ahead and hit Control Shift and 1 all at once.
Yep.
And there you go. I don't like those decimals though.
No. So we got to get rid of those again.
Yeah.
Right?
Alt H9 was our shortcut to get rid of those. So Boz is hitting Alt H9 a couple times to decrease the decimals.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've done a Control Shift 5 for the percent, a Control Shift 1 for the comma, right? Let's just say, and I don't think I want it, but let's just say that I had wanted a $sign there. What would I do then?
Judging by the pattern here, it's going to be Control Shift
yes,
and then the $sign in this case.
All right, Control Shift 4, and that puts dollars in there. And I could decrease decimals a couple times if I wanted. I really, I've already done that. I really don't. So, but the Control Shift 4 would put a $sign in. So again, depends on how often you use these things. If you want to know those super duper shortcuts, otherwise you could have just put the $sign in right there.
Should we talk about a super duper shortcut?
Oh, I think we should. I almost would have forgotten that. So I'm happy you spoke up that way.
Yeah. After the last video, we realized we wanted to teach you a little bit more about hotkeys.
You teased them, and we almost weren't going to do this. We made this up on the fly, man. This is awesome.
All right. So Boz, if you could go ahead and navigate up to the top, right above where it says page layout on the ribbons there.
Yep. And I think what I want to do is I actually would have preferred these to be in more of a number format, so not even the commas in there. All right, back there, right? I think is what we wanted to do.
Sure.
Okay. So right here is where you want me to go?
Yep. Click on that little drop down.
Okay.
And it comes with some that they can, maybe people use these a lot as the hotkeys, like quick print or spell check or something like that. We're not going to do that. So if you're going to go down to where it says more commands.
Okay. Down here.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. And so the default, it says popular commands, and on that left kind of column there, where it says like add or remove, autosave, borders, that type of deal. Those are some pretty popular ones. What we want though isn't necessarily the most popular one. It just fits us because we're accountants.
Okay, so this is not one of the most popular, so I would not find it here. Huh?
Yep, so you would go then to all commands.
All commands. Wow. There's going to be millions here.
There are a ton of commands there. And I want you to scroll down until you find comma.
All
They're
right.
alphabetical, if that helps you. Near the C's. So you're close. Now, CO is where you want.
I keep going down. COMM, 2 M's and comma. Is that right?
Correct.
I actually bumped one right there. Combined queries. I'm going to get rid of that. There's comma. Is this the one I want? Do I just get one option for it?
Nope, we want a different one.
Okay.
One more, comma style.
Comma
That's what we're
style.
going with that one.
All right.
All right, so click comma style and then hit add. And now
right.
you should see it has been added to our hotkey list over there.
So I've got 6 hotkeys right now. This is the number 6, huh? Mm-hmm. So, okay, click OK.
Yep, and now that we're here, you can see there's a little comma above page layout.
Oh,
That's that
didn't usually be
hotkey
there.
formatting. Yep, and so if you hit Alt,
Yep.
you see a 6 went over the comma, so if you hit 6, there you go.
Oh, wow. And I put them in there. I'll
Boom.
just do my Alt H9s. I actually did my Alt H0 the first time, but I'll do Alt H9s to get rid of my decimals.
There you go.
Hotkeys, that's cool. Thanks
You
for
nailed it,
introducing
man.
us,
Well done.
Yeah. All right, so the last couple things that we want to show are an if statement, and we're going to do some formatting with this as well. But you can see that we have kind of an assessment column here for the performance, and what we're basically just trying to do is saying, okay, how did the ratios change? They get better, are they worse, they more aggressive, they more conservative? Where is this at? And we want this to change automatically when the ratio changes. So what I'm going to do with an if statement is I'm going to type in equals if. I'm going to hit my tab key that my friend Ben would really appreciate me hitting. And now my logical test. So the first part of the if statement is my test. So what am I trying to test here? What am I
Well,
looking
right now
at?
we're looking at if one of those ratios is bigger than the other one. So
Okay.
let's do 2020 to relative to 2019. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, so if
All right.
2020 is maybe greater than 2019?
Sure, absolutely. That'd be a good test, a logical test. It's going to look at
Yep.
G7 and see if that's bigger than H7.
All right, and now I need a value of true and a value of false. So if this is true, I put a comma in, and then in quotes, like I can return whatever I want here. I like the word better. Are you okay with better?
I like to say you rock.
if you really want, no,
Oh.
I messed it up. All right, so equals if tab. If the 2021 is greater than the 2019 one, now I put a comma in quotes. I could put you rock just to amuse my friend Ben, comma. What if it's not greater? What would I put?
You
in
don't
quotes?
rock.
You don't rock. You know, I think that's great. You can see that it says right here, you don't rock, all right? You did not do a good job. But when you're done with that, what the beauty is once you have this, once you have this set up, it'll automatically change when you start changing some inputs. So let's say instead of having an increase in revenue of 1.87%, let's say it had actually been 10%, it actually changes to you rock.
Now you do
compared to
rock.
You don't rock. You know, we hadn't planned on this, but that's what happens when you get to lesson 12. So normally I put better or worse, but you know what? I think the point's here. Now, I'll do Control C to paste this down for my other 2 ratios where I'm evaluating better or worse, or you rock or you don't rock, and I will paste that in here. I can't use my Control D because they're not touching each other here, but I do right on top of my previous formula, I hit Control C. Right here, I'll hit Control V. And right here, I will hit Control V. Now, as you look at this one, the operating income percentage, Ben, was higher in 2020 than 2019. So does this person or does this company rock?
Yeah, they rock, for
They
sure.
rock.
They improved that operating income percentage. That's a good thing.
Now, days inventories, without getting into tons and tons of detail here, is it good to see your days inventories going up?
No, they don't rock in this
They
case.
don't rock. So we could do 2 things here. Certainly we could, change the you rock and the you don't rock. Can you see something that we could do that's even quicker on that one then?
You mean instead of just changing what we put in the text there, we could just go ahead and change the greater than sign to a less than sign because this one's a little bit different.
The formula is just a different ratio, right? So their days inventories took them longer to sell some stuff, and that went up. They do not rock. All right, so now we go to the last 2 formulas, and I will once again paste this down, and I think I'll just paste, the one I had before, that if it's greater. I don't know intuitively that's just a little bit easier for me to look at. So I've got my structure here. Now, a current ratio going down is not a sign of better or worse, or in Ben's words, rocking or not rocking. A current ratio going down, I would use the word that's getting more aggressive, all right, when your current ratio goes down. Do you want to use that, Ben, or do you have another one for me?
I'd prefer getting after it. Would be a little bit more aggressive.
Is getting after it, is that an aggressive thing?
Yeah, you're getting after it.
All right, so your current ratio is
Hey, I had a
going down.
job to do. I'm getting after it. It means like you're taking it, you're getting a little bit more aggressive.
Getting after it, all right? And then how about if that current ratio had not gone down, but had gone up, they maybe have more cash compared to current liabilities. I would refer to that as conservative. My guess is you have a different word for us here.
I would go with slowing your roll.
Slowing your roll. All right, so we are slowing our roll because our current ratio has gone down in this situation.
We don't want to roll too fast, get a little too aggressive. We don't want that. We want to slow our roll, so we're getting a little bit more conservative would be the goal here.
All right, okay, so we are slowing our roll.
All right, boss, one quick change here.
Yep.
We see that 1.08 is actually less than 1.11.
Yes.
So the Home Depot is really getting after it here.
Oh, okay.
And so what we need to do is flip that greater than sign to a less than sign because less than or a lower current ratio is going to be indicative of getting after it.
They're more aggressive, they're getting after it. All right,
They're investing in those current assets.
We changed that one to a less than. We paste this one down. Quick ratio going up. Something more cash and receivables compared to your current liabilities. A lot of people would say that's conservative. Ben would say that you are therefore slowing your roll. All right, so we can just paste that one. It's the similar format. So that's the if statement. You can have a lot of of fun with the if statement. And what the point is, you just lock those into your Excel spreadsheet, right? And then anytime that something changes, it will highlight differently. Now, not only will it highlight differently with different language, all right, but we can also highlight it with colors. So if we wanted to have a color here for whether it's better or worse or the rocking, as my friend Ben would say, we are going to go under conditional formatting. And what I want to do is I want to highlight cells where the text contains "you don't rock." All right, and when the text contains "you don't rock," what do you think? Is red okay with you? I normally think green is go, which is a good thing. Red is bad, right? So "you don't rock," are you good with red there?
I would go with red there. I think that makes sense. And you have a bunch of options if you click the little drop down next to the light red fill, so you can do a bunch, and even custom, which is whatever you want to do. But we're going to stick with this one, I would say. So.
All right, so we're good with the red on that one. We can, and what I actually should probably do is I should probably have highlighted the whole column when I did that. Conditional formatting, and highlight cells rules, a text that contains, I will put in here, "you don't rock," and whenever it has, that is red. So as an example, this company does not rock, Home Depot, because they had a bad year with revenue growth. If this said 10%, not only would it say "you'd rock," but the red would go away.
Nice.
Yeah, so again, we could have changed, and we've showed them how to use these colors before with the fill, but this is where it automatically changes. Well, how about if they rock? I'll go back to conditional formatting, highlight cells where the text contains "you rock," all right? I was going to do green is go, red
I like
is bad.
green. Green's a good idea here.
All right, so we'll put green fill with dark green text. So they rock because their operating income percentage is going down. If instead, because it's going up, that's why they rock. If it had been going down, they wouldn't rock. And similarly, the revenues, had they been going up instead, they would all of a sudden rock and have the green.
There you go.
I think the last two we really need. Well, I don't know, getting after it and slowing your roll. Do you want a color scheme with these? Or are you indifferent?
Because getting after it isn't necessarily a good thing, and slowing your roll isn't necessarily a good thing either. I don't know that it makes sense to add a color to it. Did you want to put one on there?
I'm good with it. Aggressive. I think of them as aggressive and conservative as well, and that's it depends upon how that aligns with your company vision. So we're just going to kind of leave these neutral. Let people make up their own decision about whether getting after it or slowing their roll is a good or bad thing.
I'm more a fan of getting after it.
Yeah, but that would be my style as long as it doesn't lead you to bankruptcy, right? So, all right, let's go back. Did we cover everything? We did, our different formats using the shortcuts, hotkeys, decimals. We had an if statement with Ben's entertainment there, along with some conditional formatting. I think we did it all. Do you have any parting words, man? Lesson 12, we're all wrapped up.
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. You now know 75 different ways, at least, to improve your lives.
All right, take care, everyone. We'll see you.